I am taking Humpty Dumpty and arranging it like to extreme levels.
If we look to these notes, this is actually a G with the raised 4.
Let's get this party started. Actually, resumed. I'm here to help you create great music. And I'm not talking about this plugin is so nice. No, I'm talking about Stravinsky level type of music.
Alright, what we did so far? First we had just a start point. We got the original Humpty Dumpty and we make kind of a little jazz trio type of thing. And then in the second episode we modified the rhythm. We took from a ternary pattern into a quaternary pattern. It almost became sort of a Brazilian jazz. Let's see where we are right now. Right, pretty blunt, pretty cheesy, but that's okay for now. So, okay, we're gonna work with the harmony. What we want, do we respect the original? Again, that depends on the level of commitment you have with the original. This is a course on experimenting possibilities in arranging. So, of course, our level of commitment is the lowest possible, but we still have the boundary. We still have to respect that boundary that I mentioned before. And this will rely mostly on the melody. We're gonna get to that. When it comes to harmony, we can modify it to extreme levels, but never forget, you still have to give signals that tells you this is still Humpty Dumpty, okay? The problem that we have here, that is a specific problem with when you're doing something, we're doing a range of something that's extremely tonal, extremely predictable, like Happy Birthday to You would be something like this. It's so sticky in our heads that's hard to get away from it. A way to that, I believe there are other ways to that. That's something that I do and works well in a situation like this. I start to move away from the center, right? In which case we have A, like A major. This is sticks so much that's kind of hard to get away from this A environment. So what we want to do is create some opportunity to ourselves. What I mean by that, we're going to remove the A from this harmony completely. There is no A anymore. But when I play this, something new emerges. I feel a little bit of suspense here, right? We got our opportunity. When you try to find a vacuum like this, I start to hear some other stuff. And this is what I've been saying so many times, that if you develop your inner ear, you create some hearing events in your head that comes out of nothing. I hear this too. It's a very suspended chord. So let's try to change the harmony to be just a pedal on a suspended chord. You have to remove the A from the bass too. Okay, of course, this is extremely flat, lacking color, but that's what we want. Since we do have this vacuum, what we want now is start finding different colors that fits into this harmony. But here's the caveat. If we just start putting random stuff, it might not match with the melody, and until, at least for now, we want to respect the melody. But look at this. Again, it's all about opportunities. You look for the opportunities, right? Let's analyze the melody. I want you to take a look on this. If we look to these notes, C sharp, E, D, F sharp, this is actually a G with the raised fourth. Then this G is pretty acceptable, even not being part of the original harmony. Why? Because all these notes confirm. I can actually sing to you. Look at this. See, the only note that we introduced was the G, because all the notes are confirming that to me. They created the opportunity. Can I do this randomly? No, you have to look to the melodies and see what is compatible. In this case, a G, it's like a G legion, if you will. Let's try to edit our harmony to include that G. Okay, someone could say, oh, this is modal. Yeah, you can give it whatever name you want. Alright, so now I did the adjustments, and just for fun, I resolved back on the A. Let's listen. this is getting far from the original. We want that. Still, if you show this to someone and said, what music is that? Chances are people are going to say, this is Humpty Dumpty, but sounds weird. That's what we want, right? So I inserted a dominant here. Might not be the best place, but I just want to prove this point, that once you introduce one color, you can actually use that color to bridge to different chords in the same harmony. So let's see where we are right now. Alright, so we're getting there. Of course, it's not gonna be like that. This harmony is, I see this as a bridge to what's coming next, right? What we want is create the opportunity. What we want is create this vacuum, something that's a little bit on the blunt side, so we can actually give new directions to where this harmony goes. But not yet, because we still need to touch some other fundamental concepts before we start doing radical change on this. Alright, I hope that you liked it. Stay tuned for the next part of this course. And don't forget, composing is disobeying.